And so I'm really delighted to be here today doing something I've never done before, and I don't know how it's going to be, and I'm not sure if I'm any good at doodling, but we're going to explore this. And one of the things I love, Vlad has called this a doodling alchemy, because if you don't know me, hi, I'm Rionach Aiken, and I am a visibility mentor, do visibility mindset work, and also a poetry alchemist. So I use poetry to kind of go deep and explore transformation. So I'm really excited to be exploring this other form of alchemy with doodling that Vlad is an expert in, which is completely new to me, to see what happens.
Yeah, so let's start.
Well, I feel like there's a mystery that's guiding us all the time, and when we really surrender to that mystery, rather than kind of going, this is what I want to happen in my life, we explore, okay, well, what does the universe want to happen? And when we surrender to that mystery, there's a wisdom that we access that's bigger than our ordinary wisdom that guides us. And then we experience things that are beyond what we could ever even have imagined. So, a lot of people talk about manifesting, and they manifest what they want. But sometimes when we surrender to the mystery, what we create is even beyond what we could imagine and what we could want. And so the surrender can often be the hardest part of the manifesting, and it comes just before the gift arrives. You have your intention, and then I've got to let it go, and then it can arrive because you're not attached. It's quite magical, and it's not easy. Well, I've been doing deep transformation work for 25 years, and I've been on my own personal development journey for nearly 30 years. But then for many years, I was also at the same time having a career and being a manager and a CEO in London, working in the deep in central London, helping disadvantaged people in education. But all the time, it was always really challenging for me. Since I was a child, I was incredibly shy. So much. I was so shy that I never joined any groups as a child. I never went to, I remember going to a dance lesson and then just coming away in tears because I was so shy. So I never joined the guides or the brownies or team sports or anything, because I was just really did not want to be in front of people. I felt too exposed. So even in my career for many years, I would like, I'm okay as long as I don't have to stand in front of people, then that's okay. But, so sometimes I would have to do presentations, but I always avoided teaching. And what I eventually, realized was that my biggest challenge in life was visibility, and that I had to go really deep and do lots of deep inner transformation work on visibility, and also accept the challenges that I had in my life when, I knew I could be a good leader. But even before I became a CEO, I just felt like, oh, that's not for me. That's for people who are extroverted and confident and love being around people, and and shy, quiet people like me, wouldn't be a good leader. And eventually I realized that actually voices like mine that are deeper and creative and quieter are also needed in leadership. And eventually I found the courage and had to learn a lot of strategies to help me to do this. I found the courage to step into visibility and leadership as a CEO and create a successful organization around that. And I created massive transformation in that organization, that charity. We helped tens of thousands of people and really improved the lives of so many people. And I realized actually I am a great leader, and just because it's different. And I feel that in our world now there are so many conscious people who whose voices are needed in the world. You know, we see different ways of doing things. We can bring new forms of transformation, but many of us feel very shy in sharing our wisdom and in coming out. And will people like what I have to say? You know, will I be criticized? And we're not necessarily pushy or loud, but we have this deep wisdom that the world needs to share. So I just have discovered over time that part of my mission is to help these really sensitive, what I call visionary leaders, even if they don't know that they are visionary leaders yet, to overcome the fear of being visible. And if I can do it, I can help other people to do it, because I was so afraid of being visible. It was my worst nightmare for so many years. And so that's what I love to do. I love to support people to overcome those blocks and those fears so they can share their beautiful work with the world. I work with a lot of business owners and creatives, and I absolutely love the work that I do. When you were connected to your purpose and to your passion, you were able to show your voice. And I think that's really key in visibility. I know for me, it was when I first connected to poetry back in 2008, that it gave me the passion to actually want to speak up and to be shy, or to share my voice and to step in front of a group. So it's so beautiful is that and I see that a lot with, when I work with people with visibility, is I get connected to your purpose, to your why, to your vision, and that gives you the courage and the motivation to want to step up. So
now I see how many joy, how many juicy power you get from just exploring of your potential, just being yourself. And I like to share it with people. I like to give their keys that I collected through my journey with other people, and just to experience that joy, just to be yourself and to be with yourself. Even with the lockdown, even with everything what is maybe not pretty.
yes.
But when you are connected with your inner power, you can be in a desert, totally alone, and not even survive, but live.
What did they tell you that really shifts in themselves and in their lives as a result of connecting with their authentic self-expression?
First of all, they experience their silence in themselves. And because of that silence and that quietness, that they begin to hear their inner voice. It is the first stage that I really help people to reach, recognizing something in themselves that they were forgotten, and they experience really that to be lucky, to be in vitality, just dancing and seeing that why didn't I do it before? Why didn't I know about this power of myself? And sometimes they recognize it even from past lives, if they didn't experience this in this life. And I saw your video 2 days ago, yesterday, dancing.
Dancing,
this energy I have at this moment when I see people just coming out in their energy.
I love that, and that it fits in so beautifully to the ability for visionary leaders. And I was sharing a deep, series of poems where I just really got deep into the energy of the poems I was sharing and let them kind of pour through me like a transmission, and the people engaging were just transformed, and they were in tears and they were inspired, and it's like together we just all dived into this beautiful mystery, and afterwards I was just bouncing up and down with so much joy from just that, from connecting with who I really am, and for supporting them to connect with who they really are, and to just dive into those deep mystery together. And that's it, you know, that's the power, and we just feel so connected and so on purpose when we discover those parts of ourselves. It's incredible, and it brings transformation. It activates who we truly are. It activates our purpose. And I was doing it with people. The topic was find your own voice. So I was, you know, my intention was to activate people's voices through the poems that I was sharing, so that they could listen deeply to themselves, and to discover who they really are, which sounds very similar to your work as well. Because when we share that, and that was me being very authentic and sharing what brings me alive, and I want that for other people as well. When we, each of us, find what brings us alive and shares that with others, we just ignite our potential, and we share our wisdom, our deepest wisdom. And that's what the world needs so much. What happens, especially in visibility and also in finding your purpose, we look at, you know, the successful people, and we think, oh, I have to follow their strategy, I have to do it their way. And then, you know, we lose ourselves. We lose ourselves in that, and we lose our authentic voice, our authentic self-expression.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you come back, and that's why it's so powerful to find your authentic self-expression, because when you share that, it is authentic and people connect with it, and it's unique to you. I really believe that everyone has a unique voice and a unique expression, and when we're really connected to that, then other people connect to us. But what can often happen is we try to be like everyone else, and then people can't feel us. They don't know who we are, because we don't know who we are. We're not connected to that.
To dare to be yourself. And then discover who you really are.
Yes.
And who you are not.
Yes.
And it's also the power of the mystery school, to discover the mystery of ourselves.
Yes. And one of the things that I see particularly for women is that we're brilliant at using these to support others, but we forget to use them for ourselves. So as women, as a friend, as a coach, as a parent, you know, we're great at holding space for others and being kind and compassionate and empathetic and listening, and what do you need, and, you know, bringing support. But when it comes to doing that for ourselves, often we struggle. You know, at work, and I'm confident and I'm doing my thing, or I'm triggered and I'm emotional, and then I disappear into the pain. To learn how to hold both at the same time, how to connect with our own inner fear and our own inner pain, and connect with our brilliance and our love and our compassion and our empathy for ourselves, so we can actually hold space for that part of us that's triggered, and help them, you know, help that part evolve and share its wisdom.
Yeah, and women have superpowers. So that's why it's so important to free these powers.
The masculine is like the riverbanks that hold the water, and the feminine energy is like the water that flows through. And if you don't have any riverbanks, you just have a flood. The water goes everywhere.
Yeah.
But if the riverbanks are too tight, the water can't flow. It's restricted, and there isn't enough flow. So you need, you know, the masculine energy, and we all have both energies, but to hold a beautiful space for the feminine energy, to the creativity to flow through. Colors are vibrations. You know, music is a vibration, and I'm really coming to see that now. I had a discussion with someone I know who works with flower essences and, you know, other essences that you make, And I really got to see that poetry is a vibrational essence as well. And what I love about poetry is that you can, you know, embody a poem. You can learn a poem by heart. You can bring it in to your whole body. You know, in a way, and you can do this with a song as well. So it's kind of fully integrated into who you are, and then you've also always got it. So when you need to draw on that wisdom and that energy of that poem, you can just connect with it, and it's there. It's like medicine that you can take, like taking a homeopathic remedy, but you can take it anytime because you've already embodied it, and it really shifts something very, very deeply. But you're also discovering often, you know, the pure essence of you that you need to recover to do it, to create that thing you want to create. And I know for me it's even more powerful when I'm speaking a poem to a group of people, because then they are, you know, it's almost like in that group, whatever energies they need can come through me. Into, you know, into the group, and it's like I'm just allowing what they need to come through me, and I'm also speaking the meanings that I know with the poem, and then sometimes I find myself, I'm saying a line and kind of go, oh, I didn't know that line meant that as well, and I discover new meanings as it comes through differently each time. It's very in the moment, it's very magical. Today, dare to allow yourself to be seen. Dare to tell the truth. Dare to stop pretending. Dare to stay present to the secret fire that burns inside. Dare to let go of the image. Dare to be wrong. Dare to be right. Dare to be real. Dare to be here today.
Dare to be now.
Dare to